is in charge of the education of children? Parents or the public education establishment? This issue took center stage during the COVID pandemic. While supervising their kids' online classes, parents discovered that their children's education was infused with heavy doses of gender ideology, identity politics, and critical race theory. Tension escalated. Teachers got caught sharing tips to avoid parental oversight. School boards ignored or silenced parents who voiced complaints. And the National School Board Association and the FBI joined forces to label concerned parents as potential domestic terrorists. So what legal rights do parents have? The Supreme Court has ruled that parents have the right to choose where their child goes to school. Unfortunately, that's about as far as parents' rights go. Courts insist that parents cannot control the content of the curriculum, such as banning lessons about sexual orientation, gender ideology, and LGBT history. Schools, on the other hand, have extensive rights over how children are formed in the classroom. For example, many public schools enforce speech and behavior codes that force students to affirm transgender identities. One judge's opinion endorsed reading books about same-sex marriage to children to influence them to tolerate gay marriage. If you think that's concerning, just wait. It gets worse. Teachers are telling our kids that anyone who accepts Christian teachings on sexuality and marriage is a bigot, that you're transphobic if you believe each person is born male or female, and that it is hateful to acknowledge there are real and important differences between men and women. The effect of this indoctrination is that our kids learn to loathe themselves, their family, and the church. After years of hearing these false views at school and being scolded for ever saying otherwise, kids are rendered confused and vulnerable to the dangerous idea that they can choose their own gender identity. Backed by policies that mandate hiding information from mothers and fathers, public schools arrange for any child who is confused about his or her identity to begin gender transitions, changing names and pronouns, using locker rooms or bathrooms of the opposite sex. Schools steer children toward gender clinics, starting children on puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones, a pathway that eventually leads to radical surgeries. School personnel provide contraception and referrals for abortion to any student over the age of 12 without parental notification or consent. There has to be a better way to educate our children. Here are my suggestions as a scholar and mother of 10. First, be realistic about government education in the United States. At this point, public schools are actively promoting ideologies that undermine Christian values and limiting parents' rights to just one, the right to leave. Second, support Catholic education, homeschooling, and initiatives like scholarships and voucher programs that give parents alternatives to public school. While it has been hard to compete with free public education, the recent surge in homeschool and Catholic school enrollment shows parents champion traditional values in education. Third, don't abandon families who attend government schools. Vote for school board candidates who will support parents' rights. Work to reform public schools by supporting laws that prohibit indoctrination in harmful ideologies. And finally, be confident. We all pay taxes to fund public schools, and we have the power to improve them. Parents are the primary educators of their children, a right and a duty that is given to them by God. Meanwhile, the state should promote the education of youth by carrying out the work of education in accordance with the wishes of the parents. The Catholic Church's teaching on parental rights in education is compelling and convincing because it's true. God entrusts every human being to a family. And while parents may not be experts in education, they are experts when it comes to their own children. I'm Dr. Theresa Farnan, co-founder of the Person and Identity Project, an initiative of the Ethics and Public Policy Center for Edify. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to hit subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss another episode from Edify.